Hey everyone, this is a guitar tutorial for We Crown You by Jeremy Riddle. Before we begin, please consider subscribing to my channel or give this video a like and comment below on what else you'd like to see in the future. Additionally, if you're interested in any of the gear that you see today, there are links in the description below. Alright, grab your acoustic guitar and you're going to need a capo today, and let's get started. Alright, like I said, you're going to need a capo and you're going to need to put it on the 2nd fret. And here are the chords you need to know. C major 7, E minor, D, G over B, C, and G. Alright, so let's break down how I'm playing each chord. We'll start with G and G over B. So put your middle finger on the low E 3rd fret, which would be the 5th fret of your guitar technically. Put your index finger on the 2nd fret relative to the capo on the A string. Ring finger and pinky are going to go on the B and high E strings of the 3rd fret, and you get to strum everything. This is regular G. To play a G over B, you can keep the same shape, maybe lift off that middle finger just a little bit because you're going to emphasize the A string on down for this. And that's G over B. Next up, we have the C chord, and I have two different versions of C. For the regular C, I'm playing a C2, so keep that G shape and just bump down the middle finger by 1 string and the index finger by 1 string. And now you have your middle finger on the A string, 3rd fret relative to the capo, and your index finger is on the D string, 2nd fret. And here you go, this is the C chord, but don't strum the low E string. For C major 7, which is actually the 1st chord of the song, put your ring finger on the A string, 3rd fret, middle finger on the D string, 2nd fret, and that's all you need. Now you'd have to avoid strumming the E strings for this, so you're focusing on A, D, G, and B. That's C major 7. For the D chord, put your index finger on the G string, 2nd fret, middle finger, high E, also the 2nd fret, and your ring finger on the 3rd fret, B string. You're not going to strum the low E or A strings for this. And finally, E minor. Put your index finger and middle fingers down on the A and D strings of the 2nd fret. Ring finger and pinky can go back on the high E and B strings of the 3rd fret if you want a chimier sound. And that's mostly what I'll do throughout the song. Sometimes you might play the regular E minor by lifting off the pinky and the ring fingers. So there you have it. Those are all the chords you need for the song. Pretty easy and actually kind of fun to play that C major 7 chord. Have to say, it's not every day you hear that in a worship song. So thank you, Jeremy Riddle. But anyway, we're going to play through the song, you guys. I'll put the chords on screen for you. I'll say them as we go along. After we play through it, I'll actually go over the intro, which is, but not on a 6-string guitar. I'll play it on the 12-string. So let's go for it. We'll play through the song, and then I'll go over strumming patterns and that intro. Here we go. C, E minor, D, G over B, C, E minor, D, G over B, C, E minor, D, C, E minor, D, C, E minor, D, C, E minor, D, C, G, E minor, D, C, G, E minor, D, C, minor, D, G over B, C, E minor, G over B, C, E minor, D, G over B, C, E minor, D, C, E minor, D, C, G, E minor, D, C, G, E minor, D, C, E minor, C, 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 D, G over B, C, E minor, C, D, C, G, E minor, D, C, G, E minor, D, C, E minor, C, D, C, E minor, C, D, pretty chill right here, C, G, E minor, D, C, G, E minor, D, C, G, E minor, D, C. Well, everyone, I hope that I was able to help you out with that tutorial. Let's go over the two main strumming patterns throughout the song, and then I'll show you that intro part that you can play either on a 12-string guitar, just like the music video, or on a 6-string guitar. So let's go over those strumming patterns. This is how I start the beginning on that C major 7 chord. So while I'm playing that progression, C major 7, E minor, D, and G over B, I'm playing this strumming pattern, which follows that time signature 6/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And a little slower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Really emphasizing beats 1 and 4 and going da 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 in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you can do a little variation of that to make it a little interesting as you play through the song. But to make it easy on yourself, the majority of the song is that pattern, except that instrumental right before the bridge. And including the bridge, you have a straight 8th pattern, something like this. C, E minor, and so on. So that's pretty easy. It's just downstrumming the 8th notes. Da, 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 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So those are the two main patterns throughout the song. Let's go over the intro with the 6th string, and then I'll show you on the 12th string. Obviously, it's a little bit more interesting on the 12th string, but here it is just played on a 6th-string guitar. All right, so here's how I'm playing that. This will also translate to the 12th string, which I'll show you in a moment. Starting on the 10th fret of your guitar, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8th fret relative to the capo. Honestly, it's just easier to look at the entire neck and forget about the capo for a second. So we'll just take it off for a moment. 10th fret of your guitar, B string, and you're going to start there, then go to the 12 and the 9 of the high E. So those are the first 3 notes of the riff. And then back to 10 on the B and 7 on the B. Now that's interesting because you could play that same note, which is F sharp, on the 11th fret of the G string, but honestly, it doesn't sound right when you pluck it. It's just easier to slide down to the 7. For example, again, I believe that's how it's played, and you can comment below if I'm wrong, but it sounds a little bit more musical that way instead of just going to the G string, 11th fret. And if I did the G string version, yeah, it just sounds a little bit plain. So obviously you can do it however you see fit and whatever fits in your band, but I think I like sliding down to the 7th fret and staying on that same string. Here it is on the 12th string. And obviously there's a difference there. Note that the 12-string guitar is tuned in octaves for the E, A, D, and G strings. And then when it comes to the bottom 2 for the B and E strings, it's really just the same note. So it's almost like a chorus effect, if you will, when you're hearing it. Well, thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit that like button, comment below on what else you'd like to see in the future. And thanks so much for your support. Have a great Thanksgiving, as I'm filming this on the weekend before. And I have one last thing to say. Go Blue. All right, have a great weekend, and I'll see you later. Bye.